Hi, everyone. Really glad you're here. What a fun day to celebrate history and Kelsey Plum. We're so excited to have her number in our rafters. We were talking with her in the locker room a few minutes ago, and she's known for her hard work. She's known for this exceptional hard work that she puts in, but she's also an incredible person and caring and humble, and so will be a great example to us daily. I was really proud to show the team her highlights pregame. That was fun, and I think one of the things we took away is the comments that she made on senior night about how she was just out there making one play after another. She's just playing the game of basketball. And I thought they did that really well today. I thought we came out and played as a team and just tried to make the next right decision and shared the basketball and defended well. And I really love how we started the game and continued to compete.
Yeah, just for the players, just how I guess hard or easy is it to play on a day like today when there's so much hoopla, so much extra stuff, and maybe a sense of not wanting to disappoint or give the fans a show?
Yeah, I think Coach touched on it. I know we watched one of Kelsey's videos, and she kind of just talked about in her press conference years ago, but she just talked about doing the next right thing and just staying in the moment. She wasn't really worried about the crowd or just the external factors. And I think when you're in the moment, you're doing the next right thing, everything else will take care of itself. So I feel like that's what helped our team today, and obviously it worked in our favor. But
yeah. Did you guys have the chance to maybe talk with her and interact with her, and if so, any particular thing that she shared that you can share with us? Say.
She came into the locker room after the game, and she was just super grateful to be there. She was being very humble, and she was like, this is not about me, even though it is about her. But that's just how she is. That's the type of person she is. But she was super kind, told us if we ever needed anything that we can always reach out. And it was very genuine, so it was super cool to have her here, honor her. Yeah, it was fun.
And then for Coach, is there a message that maybe players can take from Kelsey's story and maybe sort of apply it to their lives?
The first thing I think of Kelsey is she has goals and dreams, and she worked her tail off to accomplish them. And there was just a resiliency factor in her that I thought was really special. Even as you watch her go through the WNBA, year in and year out, she keeps getting better and finding new ways to improve. And our team theme is becoming, and we think that journey never ends. Whoever you're trying to be, you get to be on that journey for the rest of your life and keep trying to be a little bit better each day. She's a beautiful example of that.
Coach, today's win by 29 is the most that UW's had in largest margin of victory in a conference game since 2017. Kelsey scored 25 in that game. So what does it kind of mean for you as a team that, you're kind of starting to mimic maybe some of those larger runs that this school's had in the past?
Yeah. I think mostly, again, just staying a little bit process focused. It's we came off of a road trip that was, not our best. We learned a lot of lessons from that. We played two great teams. We had moments of greatness, and then we came home. I think we got in about 3 a.m. and had an hour of practice to prepare. And the way they walked into the gym and were so eager to learn and turn a page and be better at what we need to be better at, but also understand that there are things we're good at. And I think that sometimes you can get lost in what you didn't do well. I think they did a beautiful job of, but we're good at this, and we should do this more. And I was really proud to see the way they responded to that.
For Dalayah, you had a double-double today, but you also had a couple nice defensive plays. You hit a three, and then you get a steal, and then pass it to Elle, who gets the and-one layup. What was working today on kind of both ends of the floor, where obviously the offense for everyone today was going really well, but you're also able to disrupt them a lot defensively?
yeah, I think we talked about it a lot in our, pre-game, just being in the right position, fighting for the right position. And I think, obviously, we know defense fuels our offense, and we're really good in transition, as a lot of teams know, and we know that as well. So I think just being in the right spots gets us those turnovers and those steals. And I'm just happy that I have guards who kind of can stretch the floor and just makes it easier on all of us. So, yeah.
And for Sayvia, this is your fourth 20-point game in the last 5 outings. Obviously, last time you had your career high of 30. kind of offensively, what's clicking right now where you're shooting at a really high clip? Obviously, again, 6 assists today, so other people are getting involved in well. What's working so well right now?
Yeah, I think our team just has been sharing the ball really well. They've been getting me a lot of open looks. Obviously, we have a lot of people who can score on the team, so it's hard to be focused on one person at a time. So I feel like when they are focused on one person, we're pretty good at making the reads, and I'm able to knock down shots. So yeah, it's been good.
And for either one of the players, you're being able to be in person for a moment like this where you see Kelsey's retirement, who's kind of synonymous with the peak of UW basketball, either women's or men's. So what does it kind of mean for you in terms of, does that motivate you when you kind of get to be in person and see that event and kind of realize that this is kind of the level that you want this team to be at both now and for the future?
Yeah, I would say it just makes you want to be a lot more grateful for the moment and take more pride. Like, there's so much history here at the University of Washington, and obviously Kelsey, we can attest to that. Like, she obviously is a great player, but she's an even better person. And just seeing like all the hard work that she's done in the past to get to where she is now, I feel like that should be fuel for us. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, like, basketball is very transferable to life. You know, if you're not working hard at what you want to accomplish, like, you're not really going to see the results. So I think she's just a great example for us, and yeah.
Dalayah, I know you grew up in Seattle. Did you get to watch Kelsey at all while she was still at UW?
Yeah, I took a few visits, I think, when she was here, like, once. So it's actually, like, crazy. I think I had, like, a picture, like, watching their game, but it's, like, crazy to see how, like, things have transpired. And obviously, like, I'm a huge believer in Jesus, and I know that just, like, this was, like, the right way to end my college career, just being at home, and it's such an amazing place to be. And obviously, like, with players like her who have kind of, like, helped build this foundation, I think it's just really, like, special to kind of all seeing it come back together. It was just nice to celebrate her tonight. Yeah.
Did you get to experience any of the fan atmosphere around her games? I've talked to a couple of fans today, and everyone seemed to think it was really special when she was playing here. It was kind of like a unique experience. Did you feel that?
Yeah, I mean, it honestly felt like back then, like, it's just really special. I think, basketball is a fan favorite here in Seattle. Like, it's such a big sport here, and everyone loves it, especially women's basketball. So I'm just grateful to be in a city that really supports women's sports, and it's continued to grow. You know what I mean? And I know our program is on the rise as well, and I'm just excited to see, like, where we're going to be in coming years. So yeah.
And then Sayvia, I was wondering for you, as kind of fellow undersized guard who can score a lot and is a bit of a dog, do you take any influence or inspiration from Kelsey's game?
Yeah, I mean, I love watching Kelsey. Like you said, we're both undersized guards. So it's super motivating to see how hard she works to get where she's at right now. So I think that just helps me not get lost and just know, like, you have to work hard to where you want to be. So yeah, she's a big motivator in my game, I would say. I love watching her.
And then, not totally exactly related tonight, just how is the sort of Big Ten travel treating you guys so far? You've been on a couple road trips now, and just how has that experience been for you?
I think that we did a lot of prep work in advance, and I thought the first trip out we did a really great job of being present and preparing and that type of thing. We were not in school at the time, and so the second trip we had started classes. And I think we'll look back and see there was a few things we could have done a little bit better to help us move more. So I think it's just new. And so we're just trying to figure out how to be our best when we travel. It's something that I really am grateful for. Our sports performance, athletic trainer, dietitian, everyone's involved, coaches, players, they give us feedback. They give us great feedback after the first time around. And so we just want to keep being better and sharper each time we do it.
Hey, Coach, congrats on the win. Earlier in this, you mentioned, you learned a few things about this group. Are you able to share a little bit of what you learned? Because obviously you go through these runs, especially in conference play, that are playing a lot of good teams. What have you learned about this group recently?
It's a great question. I already knew we recruited these young women, so we know their character. And I think the thing that we're starting to see is our resiliency. So sometimes in past years, losses or road trip like that might have been harder to come back from. And I think that's why it's the first thing that came to my mind when I thought of practice, is they came in with a great spirit. They were already in a great place to learn, and they really went after it. They really went hard. We went hard and fast because we needed a shortened practice given the turnaround. And so the resiliency and toughness is growing. And I think that's something we all learn in life. Like, the more we go through, the more times we have that are difficult, and we kind of survive them, we realize we're tougher than we knew we were. And I think that's what we're learning about ourselves and just what makes us special. And the more you know yourself, the more you know us ourselves as a team, the more confidence we have.
And to go back to the crowd, I'd love to hear from you, Coach, as well as the player side of it, because obviously there's two aspects there. We talked about community with you guys all year and how big that is. You start the game off pretty well, and the crowd seemed pretty into it. How energizing is that for you to, obviously it's a big day, like Percy mentions, a lot of hoopla, but to have this crowd, your community behind you, and start out so well, like, how big is that in a game, like, in conference play, I guess?
Yeah, well, first of all, I'd just say it shows a lot about the city of Seattle and how much they love women's basketball and how much that they respect, the history of Washington and Kelsey and the greats that have gone before us. And I think that is beautiful, and so excited that they joined in a celebration of that history and Kelsey. I also think it, shows that there's a group of people here who really know and love basketball, which is really fun to see young girls, so many we signed autographs with that want to play here, and to hear those things that they look up to these young women. They're amazing young women, and so you get excited for that. And lastly, what you're saying is the competitive advantage. And so we've gone in arenas, we could name games right now where we're, up and then there's a run and it feels like you can't hear anything. And, there is an advantage, like we've got to practice for that and prepare for that. And that's an advantage we need to grow here. We need to grow at our home. And so when we come home to have a crowd like that today, I know what it meant to them. I heard our young women say, I hope we play in a way that people want to come back. And I heard them say that before the game. And that's just honoring to the community. We want to play in a way that makes people proud. But it does give us a tremendous advantage to have that type of crowd.
Yeah, I think. I'm sorry.
I talked too long.
No, it was really fun. Like Coach said, it is a competitive advantage. I thought when we went on our run in the very first quarter, and really realized how loud it was, like it was super fun to play in. And like Lay touched on, like it's super nice to play for Washington, in the city of Seattle, just to have like so much support around women's basketball. So I loved it. It was super fun for me. A great experience.
Everyone come back.
Yes.
You answered it. That was my question. So, yeah.
Anything else for these three? All right, thanks everyone.
Grateful for you guys being here.